YouTube, welcome to the top 16 of the day of the new pack. Yummy is top tier. We also have triple freaking D within today's event. I am suspecting that Yummy's going to win it all, but maybe we're going to have a big surprise. Maybe Triple D can edge out the win here by watching as long as you can, even if you have us on in the background that greatly supports these videos. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
We have Triple D going second, Dark Roller No More. Shirley is being used for the Yummy matchup, and the Mad Lad is main decking more than one, maybe even three. We're going to draw on Lockbird in response to the Saji searching for the Ritual as we further Triple Tactics talent, return back the Count Surveyor as we completely end our turn here on Justin Ash. One Ash to tank the Queen, and it will successfully. The Queen is going to be playing for the deck. The Zero King, you do want to Ash. It's an effect to summon from the deck. Negate. And now we end on nothing. And they do have a Ritual. This does absolutely nothing. You have to have 2 double Ds in your Pendulum Zones for this to even have an effect. So let's speed on through this. This is why Dark Ruler, in general, is not a good card. Because it's Master Duel. It's best of one. But it's very good against Yummy. Yummy Mitsurugi even, because it stops the prayers from even being able to deal damage to them because the opponent can't deal damage to themselves. You deal no damage, they also deal no damage, thus they can't reborn with the effect. Now, it not being a hand trap, when you're going second, you can't disrupt the turn 1. If you brick, they don't even have a field. Obviously, you're doing nothing here. From nothing to a field to just lethal you with. Yeah, it's obvious why, the reasons it potentially is not a good idea to play. Even within this event, it's not side deck. You can't now side deck this out. You're committed to play this card as we're now going first to further have a chance of them being bricks instead of adding to the power ceiling of your turn 1 play. D-shift in the standby phase. Now, last time Triple D got D-shifter, they ended on just a Machine X. We're going to grab the Dark Contract of the Gate, which will further grab the Zero Doom Queen. Queen is going to grab the Zero King, which will pop the Queen to summon from the deck a Count Surveyor to grab another Kepler. With this, all of our cards are getting banished as we Gilgamesh play 2 Pendulum Scales from the deck. Looks like, again, it's a Machine X pass. What's going to happen here is if they activate a monster effect, we'll pop our Dark Contract to suck it up but not negate it. They activate another one, we'll pop the other to then suck it up. We can then detach 2 to suck it up, detach 2, suck it up. It's about 4 disruptions on just this Machine X. Summon for the deck, Saji Tribute, further searching for our Mitsurugi Ritual. This we've got an Impulse. Big Impulse, Impulse, negate. And the Triple Tactics talent is still not even activatable. When the Ice activates to summon for the deck, we could suck him up. Give him that good suck with the Machine X, popping away our Dark Contract. Yoink. Now, unfortunately, the Triple Tactics talent can now take control of the Machine X, but not until it sucks again. We keep on sucking. And think about this. If you suck up an X Ryzeal, what's X Ryzeal wanting to search for? A Sword Ryzeal. Sword Ryzeal, in order to special summon, needs a sword, I should say a Ryzeal on the field or in the grave. While our grave is just a D-shifter, and all of our Ryzeals are sucked up under the Machine X, or the other one is at least banished as we detached it thanks to your own D-shifter. So your own D-shifter is also countering yourself. Can't summon this. 0 summons left. Can't special summon. What now? We're going to have the Triple Tactics talent, draw 2 because we are coping. Draw into a 7 Tachyon as we now pre-prep, search for the mirror. Now think about this. Because we're under D-shifter, what can we do here? If we search for an X Ryzeal to special summon it, you must send an Xyz to the graveyard. Your own shifter stops this from being summoned. Okay, what about the other card? What about an Ice Ryzeal? Ice Ryzeal says, send a card to the graveyard. So your own shifter is preventing Sword, Ice, and X Ryzeal from even being special summonable. You played yourself. Now, we still have plays, unfortunately, for Triple D as he gets to summon a Murakumo. We are not chainlink blocking Murakumo. If you put Murakumo on the lower chainlink, it can't get good sucked by the Machine X. So on purpose, we want to get sucked. You want the suck. You're begging for the suck. Okay, Force him to discard a card in order to resolve the suck. Discard banish the Fua loss, suck up the Murakumo, which again, we could have played around to ensure that it would not get sucked up. Prayers Reborn's in the grave, and it's not in the grave. Where is it? Kusanagi can add it back though. Kusanagi, come forth, add back our Mitsurugi ritual, not the Murakumo. So maybe we have another Murakumo in our deck. Not sure how many copies we're playing. We do have Futsu, or we could just try to resolve the Kusanagi again on another turn. Let's ritual out our second copy of Murakumo. Just like that. We do play another one, obviously. That's why we didn't care to get sucked up. To battle we go. Not enough for lethal damage. And also, being summoned through prayers ensures you cannot attack directly. What do we have here? Well, finally, we are free from Dimension Shifter. And their forms of disruption will be forcing us to discard a Fua loss. That's not a big deal. And they also have the Murakumo to non-target wipe away all of our monsters. Oh boy. Orthros, taking out the prayers, which takes out the ability to non-target wipe away our field. So our disruptions now drop down to a single discard Fua loss, which it's not a disruption. Come on. So they got 0. They're done. All really well done on the Orthros. So fully undisrupted normal summon Kepler. Let's see what's good. Discard away the Fua loss, searching for the Dark Contract of the Gate. With the Gate, we're going to be searching for the DD Scale Surveyor. We're going to scale it up, Pendulum Summon our Ragnarok. We're going to be tributing off the Kepler to banish away the Mitsurugi. The second copy of Murakumo is now banished. Let's further make another copy of the Machine X, and the good suck is back. This time we have a Floodgate. Is the Floodgate going to be good though? It states that your opponent cannot target any monster on either field with spell and trap cards. Who cares, right? Well, the more important effect possibly is the fact that my daddy, your daddy, the daddy, my daddy, the person, cannot use a monster on the field for a fusion, synchro, or exceeds. There goes your Ryzeal plays. Can't Ryzeal it up. And we do have Machine X to also suck as long as we're the direct chain link to a monster on the field, not being chain link blocked. 3,000 defense, you reduce the attack. This is why it's a good idea to put ourselves into defense against Mitsurugi. We're now going to Prayers Tribute off the Habakiri, Reborn the Kusanagi, which gives us the ability to recycle back one of our banished Murakumos. You are going to be the non-chain link blocked Kusanagi, thus I get to suck you up, and we get to suck up again. We'll do it again. Grab back the Saji. 7th Tachyon. We are about to reveal our trap. Now, it could be a good idea to keep it face down. Why? If you keep it face down, it can't get aggregated. So as long as we get past the aggregator check and then we flip this up, they're screwed. There's going to be no Ryzeal seizing for you. Normal the ice. Suck them up again. This is our final suck. No more good sucking. Suck them. As we now summon for the deck into a Star Ryzeal. Star setting up the Ryzeal Cross. As we flip it up, we can now special summon the sword on the resolution. We got to flip this up. That's it. Flip it and you win it. Got him. Can't exceed now. As, can't do anything now, huh? We sent Star to special ice. The extra deck's not lighting up. We're confused. What the heck is this? Yup, main deck and a Floodgate. Fua in the draw phase. That's all we got. Is that enough? How many plays we have? Queen is a full play. Dark Contract is a play, especially a body plus a Griffin is a play. That can make the Gilgamesh even. In my Triple D deck, I was enjoying Zeus. I think a lot of people are not going to be on Zeus though. There are a few effects that lock you out from summoning Zeus, and that's something you do want to learn when going second. So what I would do to help you out is you type in DD, semicolon, and the word cannot special. So these are the cards that will lock you out of Zeus. If you resolve this effect, you can't Zeus. If you resolve Gilgamesh, you can't Zeus. And if Orthros is on the field through its effect, you can't Zeus. So as long as you are trying to break their field before summoning Gilgamesh or before resolving this effect, you could try to Zeus them first. And then, now the thing is, if you Zeus, you could still make a Gilgamesh or a Zero King play afterward as your option here. And a Zeus play would just be simply, you can normal Griffin, special Griffin, rank 4 Xyz, swing, and then try to Zeus him. Or you don't even have to Xyz. You could link off. Whatever you do, you can make a Machine X over a Triple D, and this could be your Zeus enabler. All right, what do we have here? The theory is Dark Ruler no More is good against Yummy Mitsurugi. Well, we have Mitsurugi here, so if the Dark Ruler no More resolves, which it can get negated by the Purification, unfortunately, the prayers will not be able to take 800 to reborn a card, but it could still tribute off the Murakumo to have its own effect reborn back on the field. So even after it's negated, the prayers will still enable it. What's really good about Dark Ruler no More is if there isn't Murakumo already on the field, then they try to activate prayers, which will not work because they can't take damage, thus they can't reborn the Murakumo. Despite that, we will turn off the detonator, potentially. What's even worth discussing here? The Purification will negate. Or not yet, mate. Maybe we're gonna try to bait the Purification. This is not a good activation of detonator. You want to detonate in response to the activation of the effect, not the card. It is a hard once per turn effect. Because you destroyed it on activation, now an additional copy is activatable and it could still attempt to search the deck. Wipe it. As we're doing it, again, see, now the correct timing is this. So we're like, whoops, okay, whatever, that's fine. I have so much disruption, it doesn't even matter. Now we Dark Ruler no More. But what are you negating? I already used all my detonator pops. The Murakumo on field's not really doing anything. It would be a waste to use Purification. So Purification was supposed to protect detonator, which you ended up using. So I do think we had to use this early to at least force out an early Purification. I think the goal instead, we changed it to, we try to bait an early Purification, but my daddy did not take that bait because he know better. We're gonna send from the deck Necro Slime with the Coper, special summon into our Griffin, and now we make the Gilga. Gilga is going to attempt to set up double Pendulum Scale. I'm not saying he had this play, but what you want to try to do, it's a cope. I mean, he's got so much disruption, you're in big trouble, right? Well, you try to chain link block the Gilgamesh with the King Tail. If you can make a King Tail, which, it's gonna require 3 bodies for your link instead, 2 bodies to make the King Tail, another body to then link with the King Tail, you could chain link block your Gilgamesh from a direct negate like Purification or Herald or a Baron to floor. What I see here is we're throwing out as much bait as possible to protect our Queen. And it's a good idea because the Queen is a very powerful effect. Protect McQueen. Gilgamesh, when sent to the graveyard, could also special summon onto the field from the extra deck or deck. This could be a good way to cheat out a Genghis, because Genghis will be able to further reborn a monster from the graveyard. Wait, does this summon Kali Yuga? Only Xyz summoned. Okay, it does not work on just special summon. So if this link card is destroyed, you get to special summon a double D from the extra deck or graveyard in defense. So it's not from the deck, it's deck or extra or graveyard. Gets wiped away immediately by the Murakumo, but that was great because you were activating to wipe away our field. We trigger the Wave King Caesar to search our deck for a 0 King. We have the brand new Alfred, not available in the TCG. Returning back banished cards to fusion summon into the Genghis. And now, is he used up or what? We did all those plays to protect our Queen, and boy, was it successful. They have 0 disruption left. The cross can't even negate anything. Huh? Immediately setting up the floodgate because we already have the 0 contract in hand. Siegfried is here now ready to negate a spell and trap card. If they have an Impulse in the hand, that would be a good negate. Not that they're playing Impulse because they're playing Ryzeal, so you don't play Impulse. Now, the Queen is a non-target destroy. It special summons, non-target destroys, and we have the King Arc Crisis here. Let's freaking go. Non-target, negate the entire field, mate, just like that. And we're using the effect of the Alfred to return back all of our dark contracts back onto the freaking field. Attack number 1, attack number 2, keep on attacking. Yeah, we're under Dark Ruler, so it's not lethal damage, but we get to clear up their entire field nonetheless. Wipe it out, and let's also make sure we have a Machine X. Now, you remember, this was enough to cause Ryzeal to scoop. It's doing nothing right now. You have to have 2 double Ds in your pendulums in order to prevent them from Xyz summoning. But it's fuel for the Machine X, which is actually our only disruption. During the opponent's turn, this does nothing. But we have Droll, we have Suck 'em, Suck 'em, Suck 'em, Suck 'em. You know, we got like, what, 5 Sucks and a Droll? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sucks and a Droll. Yep. We're going to chain prayers to the Droll as we are going to be burning for 800 to further reborn the Murakumo from Engrave. Droll is now resolved. No more adding from the deck. Non-target. Wipe away the field. No chain link block for the Murakumo, so we're going to suck him up. The Purification is going to dodge the suck. Now, we don't have any destruction protection here. You would think randomly something protects us, maybe something banished from the graveyard. No. So, goodbye to everything. No! This will set itself as a pendulum scale, which I forgot what it even does as a pendulum scale. It says you can target dark contract cards you control during the next turn to then do what? Destroy them, then special summon that many Doom King pendulums from your deck or extra. Is that going to be relevant? I hope it is. Nope. All right, goodbye to our King Crisis. Burn for 1,000, and then that's it. Taro, I appreciate you immensely. You are a top-tier Triple D player. Thank you for getting to the top 16. But damn, Ryzeal Mitsurugi. Let's go, let's go. I would like to know his thoughts on Dark Ruler. Does he's happy with Dark Ruler? Did it help him beat Yummy decks? Begin. Normal summon, a Chi-Chi, Ash, negate. Mate, we have the red reboot for the Purge if we want to. Now, with this, we're done. I think another good question could be is how good are Bystials against Yummy? Theoretically, any simple extender is going to play right through a Bystial, but what if they don't have one? And how about if Yummy bricks? What the heck? They got like 12 plus 1 card starters. How the heck do you brick on Yummy? What are the chances? Splash Mage, reborn the Chi-Chi as we're going to be chaining a Maxi to thee. Now, if any deck could draw themselves, it is Maliss, but it is usually when we actually have access to a Maliss card, which we don't have. Thus, we're just going to pass, and even after drawing a card, we are still bricking, finally, 1 card Yummy. But if the 1 card Yummy gets Bystialed, what do we do there? Purge is negating Maxi because there's a card on the field. Don't think that Purge is always going to negate Maxi. Obviously, it will not. Flip it back down. Not today. Now, this could be quite risky because if both players are bricked up, it becomes a resource battle, and you just gave them a +1 while you minused. Cookie is not going to be linking this up. We have plenty of other plays. We got double Nibiru, only 1 activatable, obviously, impermanence. You could turn your own Nibiru plus another hand trap into a Camellia. So if they were to summon 5 times, normal summon full loss alongside your Nibiru, you got your full play. Bricked up again, what the heck? Setting the full loss, if it survives with any other hand trap, it does turn into a Camellia. Normal summon the backup, purge, negate. Without a trap in the grave, it does not destroy. Red reboot again. This time it's not half our life points. These red reboots are for Dracotail. It's not for you, Yusuf, as Yusuf now gets to set another trap. Unfortunately for Alpha, there's a Nibiru. And Nibiru does not tribute face-down monsters. Thus, possibly, we could tribute off the entire field and then use the full loss Nibiru to make our Yummy play. It is a cost for Lizardos to banish the Dormouse, thus it is correct to call by the grave preemptively on a Dormouse before this activates. Well done. Only 600 defense. That's horrendous. Now, off the top of the deck, we have our full 1-card combo. We have whittled down Alpha to a single Droll in Lockbird, Droll negate, which means we now can't Cupsy Yummy Waste Search for 2 bodies. So what is the best we could do? Let's find out. Or let's not. All right, good job. Maxi and Nibiru. We do have the Ash for the Maxi, thus all we have to do is play around Nibiru. This will be an Almirage for our 2nd summon as we then back up into the 3rd summon. Searching our deck for our wizard, since we already have the March Hare to Reborn back. Link Decoder. Uh-oh. That's 5 summons. If we tribute off this entire field, then we have to fear if they play a spider. The spider will turn the Nibiru token into a spider, and then Wizard could Reborn back the March Hare that just got banished. Wait, what? March Hare is added back to the hand here. As we now link all 3 into the transcode talker. Trigger the Link Decoder, Reborn back onto the field. Wizard is going to be reborning, and oh my Jesus. What is this threatening? If we read the card, we want to look for the big one. The big one is this one. This is a Link 5 with 3 effect monsters. 1, 2, 3, and to Link 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On summon, it will immediately be pointing to a Link monster to negate Nibiru. So this is a Nibiru choke point because it can negate Nibiru. There you go. So if you just identify that yourself, you could easily know when to Nibiru. We checked him, and the March Hare was no good, even though we do play Link Spider. We do, so we didn't have a play anyway. Ideally, you could check them on Nibiru before committing with your Wizard. Wizard's supposed to be the follow-up, and then you Nibiru check them earlier. And what did I say earlier? You are able to turn Nibiru plus a hand trap into your Camellia play. Camellia is going to send from the deck a Hornet Drones or an Engage, or you're then going to make Kagari to then add it back. The TCG can't make this play. They don't have Camellia for some reason. That's it. 2-0 victory. Damn. Is Maliss fallen on hard times or what? Begin. There could only be, so this deck likes to summon dragons and spellcasters. There can only be 1 dragon, there can only be 1 spellcaster, and if a dragon or spellcaster are already on the field, you cannot exchange them for another dragon or another spellcaster. This will prevent it. Rahu, Dracotail, not sending Urgula. Urgula could have destroyed the floodgate. Mobile X does not know that that is a floodgate. Or maybe he doesn't care. It's not that big of a deal. Possibly. We're going to be triggering the Arthalion to return back our own Drone Lockbird, a great card against Ryzeal. Obviously, Pan's going to non-target destroy a monster on the field. You don't know until the resolution. And we'll take out the Tornado, because we don't want Tornado to take out the key to Dracotail. As we further set up the Flame, a good card to potentially negate a Ryzeal cross if it ever comes to that. Key 2, since you have a monster on resolution, we are going to Fusion Summon. Using the Dragon and the Foolos to go into Spellcaster. So at the moment, there could be only 1. Would not be having any effect on this duel. Well, now it would. There's 2 Spellcasters. So if you flip this up, they're going to at least have to get rid of one of their monsters. Bro, do not chain this card to your Veiler. Because if you do, there could be only 1 spellcaster. He'll then send his Gulomel to the graveyard for your own trap, forcing it in the grave, then dodging your Veiler. Okay, good. We didn't do that. Perfect. Frixel, Reborn, a Dragon, return back the spellcaster. Dragon and spellcaster into another dragon. If we flipped up, there could be only 1. You would not be able to summon Arthalion, and you couldn't summon a spellcaster. You're just going to keep it a secret? You don't want anyone to know? You're going to take the secret into game 2? Okay. Normal the ice, summon the star. Star setting up the Ryzeal cross. What does Mobile X have? Kage is going to be banishing to return back. With the Kage being banished, that is what enables your Nemesis flag returning it back. We'll grab Protos. What is good to declare Protos? Apparently nothing. It will instead be used as a follow-up card to break their field. Now, Retaliating Sea in response to a Rahu or a Kitu is going to ensure that any card sent to the grave is banished instead. Retaliating Sea accomplishes what Yummy inherently has with Herald of the Arc Light, and even more so when Herald of the Arc Light is protected by Sprite Elf to auto-beat against Dracotail. Now, 2 Drone Lockbirds would have worked against the cross. You can use both of them in the same chain. They would cross, to play around it, you just activate both of them. Scoop. Scoop it. I know he has the Retaliating C. And now I'm under max freaking C. What do? Go first. Begin. Starting off with a Malulu, then we're going to be making our other plays around potential hand traps, which 7 minutes has none. 7 minutes with all of those dirty floodgates in his main deck, still able to keep it at 40. Setting up the Flame to negate a spell. Now, the 7 Tachyon, you can only activate 1, but the Flame does not negate the activation, thus the second copy's no good. Crossout can obviously be used for the Droll and Lockbird, which would shut us down, but the Flame, if we save the Flame. So the big issue here is going to be, do we bait with the 7 Tachyon and then the Flame negates it, then the Crossout can negate the Droll, then we have a chance to win this duel. They have the ability to pop a card, negate a spell, return a monster, banish from the grave, fusion summon, about 5 disruptions. Imperm, you may as well negate the Gulamel, drop it down to 4 disruption. 7 Tachyon, he does not save it for a potential called by or cross out to protect his Droll. Negate the 7 Tachyon. Now, drawing into an Albaz allows the Femina to go into an Albaz fusion play. We're going to send for the deck the Kage with the Doo-Doo Warrior. We're going to Sting, banish away the Kage. Just like that, we now get to draw an additional card, maybe into another hand trap. And that play will be into a max freaking C. Horn is going to return the Go-Go Glove back to the hand, ending our turn before even having to activate max C or Droll. Boy, is that unfortunate. Finish him. Insane. All right, wipe away the Doo-Doo, reborn with the Frixel, return back the Frixel, and because the pan is massive, 2,700 alongside 2 fusions will be enough for game. Oh boy. I really want to watch Dracotail play against Yummy. Where is it? How's it not happened yet? Hornet drones into our Kagari. We can speed this up a bit. Add back, Imperm negates. Now that actually successfully stopped him. Kid Art could have normal summoned a Veiler. Could have normal summoned a Droll and Lockbird. Normal summon a level 1 of any kind, and we could have continued our plays. Now, unfortunately, the Fool losses are completely dead. We do have Max C, and now we're going to try our own Sky Striker play. Is it worth it for us to Droll and Lockbird? Well, if we Droll, we can't bridge our way into the Cupsy searching for our Yummy cards. This is going to be a situation now, and we're committing. Go into the Kagari. Kagari is going to add back. So this is what I've been talking about on if you want to play Mitsurugi or Fiendsmith, what happens when you get Max Seed? That's the issue. The Engraver, the Murakumo, the other Mitsurugis could be additional hand traps instead, unless you're able to brute force for lethal damage. And if you go into Sky Striker to make your Cupsy, you're now going to be susceptible to getting Impermed or Veilered. Veiler will be from the Dracotails, Imperm will be from everyone else. We normal summon the Droll, and this wasn't a mistake. It was so that we could synchro with the Droll during the opponent's turn, using the field spell to pop a card in the field, and we could also flip cards face down. So we have Ghost Spell, we have pop a card, we have flip cards face down. In response to the Cupsy searching for a Yummy monster, since we already have the surprise, we're going to use the Yummy way to flip down the Cupsy. Now, as you can see here, this 1 means that they still have a normal summon. They did not special summon. And a Marshmallow, you would think could special summon, but it can't. You have to control no monsters, or all monsters you control are light beasts. Not only do we have a face-up Kagari that's not a light beast, we also have a face-down monster. Both will stop the Marshmallow from summoning. Triple Tactics talent is going to be a non-target take if we wanted to. Instead, we're looking at the hand. Let's look at that hand and take out the Ghost Spell. Whip out the bell, take it away. Now, this is a scenario where you don't want to activate anything. The Snatchy can't do anything. The Cupsy can't do anything. To battle, take out the Snatchy, but we then lose the battle phase. So instead of losing the battle phase, we may figure out that we have a way to lethal damage, or I have a finger. How about you let them activate Cupsy, finger the Cupsy, but then you're also fingering your own Cupsy. Normal. Go into our own Cupsy. We're activating. We don't care. We're not going to be losing our battle phase just to take out the Snatchy. You could definitely brute force play through this field, especially because of the Call by the Grave. And the Ghost Spell was supposed to negate the Call by the Grave that was just now returned back into the deck. Do we even have anything to Reborn? There's nothing to even Reborn with the Cupsy, as the Lollipop just returned the other card back in the deck, right? Or it returned an Engage back in the deck. We never actually got to our yummy main deck monsters. Reborn, and thanks to the Field Spell. The Field Spell is also boosting per Light Beast. The opponent controls an additional 1,000 boost thanks to them being on the field. Now, the Akra will only trigger to summon a monster from the deck if you get rid of my monster through an effect only, not by battle. Well done. Yummy, clapping up, yummy. Perry Reese, searching for our Cupsy. We now have to normal summon a Cupsy. Activate, searching for a Cookie since we already have the Yummy Surprise, and you should definitely understand that they do have that in their hand if they search for a monster instead. Let's Yummy Snatchy, activate. This is susceptible to a potential Ogre or an Imperm if you activate it with nothing else in the field. Let's Maxi in the draw phase. You hit me with the Fua, it's only fair. But Ash negates, so it's not fair. This is a good showcase of how well the deck plays against Fua loss. We minimally only made them draw a single card, and we still have some good disruption during their turn. This could trigger the Field Spell to pop a card. We could flip a monster face down if we want to. We also have the Surprise to return multiple cards. What just happened? You flipped your Cookie face down. I can't say that's ever happened to me. And every time there's been an option to flip my own monster face down, I've always have thought, I'm sure there's a reason to do it. I just can't really think of a good reason to do it. Okay. I guess it worked. Let's continue. Back up. Yummy, Snatchy. Special summon the Cupsy, searching for the Marshmallow, activatable if we want. We don't care about that draw one bit. Not a problem. We already have the Surprise. At best, it's cutting them off from searching for a Surprise. As we get to Chain Link block the Lollipop with the Field Spell to pop a card in the field, we're going to negate the Acro. All right, it also thins out the deck from a brick. We don't want that to be drawn next turn if there even is a next turn. We're going to want to replace this Field Spell with a Snatchy playing the other one. Come forth, Snatchy. Snatchy can trigger on Special Summon, not Link Summon, which Konami forgot to make it a Link Summon only. But boost, up the field, and let's go. More than enough for lethal damage, over 16,000 damage. Let's go. All right. Well done. Now, if you play on TCG simulators and play on Master Duel, there are a lot of plays in a TCG simulator that do not let you go back. They will force you to commit when in Master Duel, they do let you go back. So I think if it were to be do you want to flip another monster face down? You accidentally click yes, and then it's telling you to target. In a TCG simulator, it's too late. You got to do it. But I think you could go back on Master Duel. So, how does that accidentally happen? Unless we did it on purpose. Let's Marshmallow Yummy. Jump off into the Snatch. You got to be careful when activating the Snatchy effect, which when you play the Field Spell, then you can't even go into Goddess. And it's not tied to the Synchro effect. It's on Special Summon, you play the Field Spell. Now you can't Goddess. Now you can't Gorgon. So, these ideas of Gorgon on your own turn or Goddess on your own turn, it's going to be difficult to do. Let's Reborn out. Let's speed this up. Yummy way. Ain't no way. Yeah, if you don't activate to play the Field Spell, you make a Mask Arena, And then you make a Gorgon. Gorgon cannot be destroyed by the Liger. I could say I'm on board with that. That's good. Yeah, that works. Now I like it. So I would say against Liger, do that. Make sure you're playing Masquerena and Gorgon. That does definitively, they have to wipe away Masquerena. So the point was, how do we force them to activate Masquerena plus another body? And then you're gonna have to, after the follow-up, go into Snatchy, then you could play Minion, then you could do your other plays, right? Make sense? What do we do here? Herald of Arclight's untargetable, the Masquerena's untargetable, they have Imperm, they have Purge. We are going to negate the Piri-Reese map from searching. Not today. Elf's gonna be further reborning a Synchro. If you activate any other play, they're gonna chain directly to your card. The fact that Elf is not only making Herald untargetable, but can easily reborn Synchros even when there's no monster on the opposing field, it's so broken. Grab the Hornet Drones it up. This could be a good opportunity to set up the Acro and then just Synchro. Or you could link off with Masquerena. Just get rid of the token. Get rid of their body. Right here, right now. Could have even summoned a Cookie if we had one in Grave. No Cookie in Grave, but we're gonna be banishing, getting rid of the Hornet Drones. Lollipo gets rid of the Hornet Drones, and now this is not a play. I mean, it could still, Kagari, add back what? Yeah, you know, it's still a link one, then special summon something else. Cookie, flip it down. So we're coping that they don't have another form of disruption. Now, by popping away the Kagari, they actually still have a play, which is crazy. Now, of course, they could stop our play. Cupsy into link one, into the Minion. We could very easily just delete the Snatchy, and then by deleting the Snatchy, the Minion can't reborn a card. We're also just going to negate the Snatchy. They have no other monster to synchro with. We didn't have to use Herald. We didn't have to use Masquerena. We had so many other forms of disruption that we never even had to go into. We're able to flip them down, pop with the Acrow, Imperm. You could Cupsy search for a Cookie, then discard the Cookie, and then reborn Cookie in response to them activating with your Synchro. The Lollipo, bouncing away into spinning back into the deck, the Hornet Drones is also a very good play. Well done. Let's summon our Cartesia using up our normal summon. Fusing with the hand, let's speed this up. Add back Cartesia, and we didn't even end on a Femina. Negate a spell, return back a monster, banish from the grave. Okay, triple. We do get to draw 3 cards though. Malulu, use it up. Urgula does not tell you what he's destroying. On resolution, one of those cards we're gonna wipe out. Malulu is going to be further setting. We're gonna be setting 3 cards from our own deck. Let's Sting. Banish the Ash so he cannot add it back with the Arthalion as he's trying to also add back the Lucius. Sure. Drawing into a Pan, not good. We need a Femina or a Hand Trap. You have 2 more draws. Urgula, wipe away so we only have 1 more draw. You now have Negate a Spell. This is it. Key to Dracotail, Flame, Negate, and more importantly, draw a card. We need Femina. Where are you? Wrong one. Wrong freaking card. Rahu Dracotail. Let's now finish this duel. Gulamel, in response to one of our cards activating, we want to chain Gulamel, but both of their fusions in grave are triggering. Can we activate another card? Yes, we can. Urgula, then Gulamel, wipe out that massive token. Unfortunately, we do not have lethal damage here. We're going to be swinging in Nibiru, trading with the Arthalion, as Gulamel trades it with the other Gulamel. We have Femina, Fusion, Malulu negates, Flame negate a spell, Sting banish in the graveyard, 4 disruptions. Let's see what we summon. Secretarion. Okay. Urgula is going to non-target, wipe away one of those back row cards. Sting is going to be banished before it gets wiped out. Thus, say goodbye to the Flame. Randomly, Give us a good hand trap. Not good. Gulamel is back. Now ready to, in response to one of our cards, pop a card. But the Secretarion is ensuring that special summoned monsters cannot activate. Faemina, if we could trigger the Malulu to negate the Secretarion, which it's not going to happen in the direct chain link to it, but it will allow us to negate it on a separate chain link, so within later in this turn, we can activate Gulamel later. That Gulamel was not sent to the grave. It was reborn from the grave already. Thus, that's not going to work out. What happened in this duel? This is not looking good for Mugiwara. Malulu, non-target negate. Frixel is going to be setting from the deck mate. Resolve it, negate it. Now our special summon monsters can activate. Arthalion, we used one card from the hand. We're going to return one card on the field back. Be gone. Destroy the other with the pan. Open field, lethal damage. How are these two mad lads dodging the Yummy players? Where's the Yummy at? All right. Cartesia. We have Faemina. Little Knight's going to give some resilience against the Nibiru. Little Knight's going to want to banish itself plus Secretarion. That's going to be the goal here. So good idea on Mugiwara. And you know, this is the thing. It's adapting to the meta. If Nibiru wasn't being played and now it is being played, you got to change your plays a little bit. And now he didn't even want to Nibiru because of that Little Knight. Because what would it do? It's just tributing off Arthalion. Who cares about Arthalion? It's not a disruption. Flame. Negate the Rahu. Ash, negate the Flame. Now I'm curious, are these Dracotail players that are playing Nibiru, are they taking out Ghost Bell for Nibiru? Because, you know, something has to have been taken out to make room for it. And I am noticing that there's a lot more Nibiru than usual. Little Knight in response to the Malulu before the non-target permanent negates. Let's negate the Secretarion for sure. Now our special summon monsters will be activatable. Key 2 on resolution. We still have to deal with the Faemina, which the Malulu and Urgula could pop a follow-up card, which is not an issue because we have all the follow-ups already in our hand. Arthalion is here. With one card used from the hand, we're going to return just one card. Our own Ash. Ash negated the trap. Ash can negate Rahu. Ash can negate Brain Infusion, can negate Key 2. Lots of good negates. And the Flame will additionally give us that negate. But the Urgula is going to wipe away the Flame, unfortunately, and we're going for a triple target. Moonlit Chill. So in the TCG, what happens here is because that format makes no sense, Moonlit Chill would be Chainlink 1, Arthalion would be Chainlink 2, so it doesn't even work. I swear that's how it works. But in Master Duel land, correctly, Arthalion's the lower chain link, Moonlit Chill would be the higher chain link to negate the Arthalion. So you would get punished for this 3-hand fusion summon. Lucius, set up, Malulu, negate, Urgula, wipe it away, mate. And what are we adding back? We are adding their Arthalion back to the extra. Our own Faemina and Malulu back to our hand here. Let's go. And I'm not trying to make fun of TCG. Like, you understand, it's a ruling. It's not like a joke. It's not a legal cheating thing. It's how the hand triggers work. Rahu, Ash negates. I don't like, if their turn play is a normal summon Lucius or activating Key 2, I would say it's not a good Ash. Overall, you know, if they like simulate 1,000 duels and it's their opening play, I would say it's no good. Now, if you have a body on the field and they're activating Key 2, it now changes because they do have that opportunity to fuse on resolution. Now, Mirio got blown out by Nibiru. Are we going to not get blown out by Nibiru this time? I know it's exciting to use our Anaconda, but we actually can't do it because if the summon restriction is not just on Rahu, it's also on Malulu, where you cannot summon for the extra deck except fusion monsters. So maybe by accident, we can't play into Nibiru even if we want to. We're forced to make the correct play. As we have only summoned 3 times. That's it. Perfect. No Anaconda for the 4th, and then Sanctifier for the 5th. We are going to have the ability to Fuse Disrupt, Gulamel Pop, negate a spell, banish in the graveyard for disruption. In response to the Malulu, we are going to, wow, make their fusion summon illegal. Now, back in my day, you'd have to reveal your hand to confirm that your fusion summon's illegal. In the TCG today, now you just, you trust your opponent that, okay, sure, your fusion summon didn't work, you wouldn't lie to me. Negate the Rahu. And now I have the key to up against a Floodgate. This Floodgate is going to ensure that whatever you summon cannot activate, but the Pan will be able to destroy the Floodgate. Set up a Sting, take out the Secretarion, and now we're back to you. The Gulamel can only, in response to your own cards, destroy a card in the field. So we're very simply, it's a battle, take them out. As we're now going to main phase 2, Sting the Gulamel out of the graveyard to recycle back our Flame, draw into a branded freaking fusion. But why did we not bring a fusion? Because we only play one Albaz, as we should. And that one Albaz is in the graveyard. Rahu, Dracotail, using the Fualos and Malulu from the deck to non-target negate the Malulu on fields. But that Malulu can't even fuse, but we don't know that. We do not know that the branded fusion is dead. Making the Malulu dead, that is. Add back the Pan. Let's key to Dracotail. Lucius, fuse up the entire hand into another Secretarion. Well, the other one was returned back, right? As we now Lucius and Pan, Gulamel Engrave triggering, Sting is going to be banishing that Gulamel away. And additionally to that, we'll be drawing a card. Get it out, return back our banished card, randomly drawing into a Horn. Let's finish this, yes. Take out the Malulu, Secretarion, reborn back onto the field, the Lucius, search our deck for a Femina. End our turn, we have so much disruption. Femina, we're going to need another monster to use the Femina, which the Flame or the Horn could draw into, but then we have the Flame, we have the Horn, we have the Secretarion, which is floodgating them. Ghost Spell, negate the Horn Mate. One less card to draw into a monster to use with Femina. And this is why they replaced Impermanence with Valor, because you get in these scenarios where you need to randomly draw into a monster. Or you don't even need to do much because your field's good enough. Hajime. Cup C up against a Droll, Bell, and Max C. You activate the Max C in the window where you could Droll, so if they were to cross out Finger or Ash the Max C, you could then chain the Droll. Now, the deck plays much better against a Fualos. The Max C is going to make it a bit more difficult to make optimal plays. And what I've continually said is Maxi is the reason why you would potentially not want to play Mitsurugi, as we are giving them a free draw with the Saji, and it's a draw too. Pod agreed to get a Murakumo on the field plus a Prayers. Is this worth it? I would say, or Purification with the Murakumo is good. I think draw 2 for this is a good trade, but it's still a draw freaking 2. And they're going to have 9 freaking cards in their hand. They could force them to discard, we could wipe away their field of monsters, we could negate anything, we could imperm negate a monster, we could Ghost Bell something, we could surprise return cards back, we could pop a card on the field, we could pop a card again with the Cookie and Field Spell, we could flip cards face down. This is theoretically 9 disruptions versus 9 cards in our hand. So it's quite fair. Let's go. 9 versus 9. Malulu, imperm, negate, chain Femina with the 9 cards in our hand, right? No, what the heck? All right, somehow did not have it. Playing 2 Pan is quite insane, no? Key 2, we're gonna Purification, negate the effect, not the activation, mate. How did this happen? Brick, 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 brick. The whole hand is bricked. We had competing normal summons, and then a bunch of cards that need to be used for a fusion summon, and our only 2 fusion summon plays got negated. Anubis took the Maxi Challenge turn 1 and it worked. I can't believe it. Wow. At least we get to Bell the Murakumo and then end our turn. we have nothing else. That's it. We're done. Pan has played at more than 1 since when? I'm gonna look that up. You got too much Pan in your deck, mate. Oh, wow. 56% play it at 2. It's the majority. The majority do play it at 2. All right. Lots of bricks. Now, the great thing about Malulu, when it gets negated on your turn, it can activate again during the opponent's turn. Add a Marshmallow plus our cookie with our Cupsy Yummy Way. Let's draw and Lockbird them, which is supposed to stop them from searching for a Yummy Surprise, which they already freaking have. So that draw is trash. It's not going to help at all. The Malulu getting ready to Fusion Summon, Chain our Maxi under Droll. He's trolling. It's a joke. All right. Let's Purification Reborn our Murakumo. Murakumo's here. We have to tribute another monster on the field. Say goodbye to the cookie. Use it up. This is it. We are going to non-target destroy a monster, non-target destroy a back row. And we're going to target multiple cards on the field, return them back. Our own Maxi is going back to our hand as we return back the Sorrow Cat and the Murakumo. Oh my Jesus, and the Malulu negates the Murakumo from destroying our monster. Crazy plays here. This is the way. We do have to discard one of our bricks. Oh no. We're going to chain Yummy Surprise to special summon a Yummy from the grave. Chain Link 8. Discard. Set. Do nothing beyond that. Set. Negate. The Marshmallow, mate, not the Murakumo from destroying the Arthalion. Okay. Urgula. Wipe out the Minion field spell. And then Arthalion, return back the Murakumo as the Murakumo wipes away the Arthalion. So do note that even though the Arthalion was returning back Murakumo, the Scorpion would have still successfully negated Murakumo from wiping the field, which was not that much of a priority, but because he wanted to stop the Marshmallow from adding back the Yummy Surprise. You're negated. What are you doing? Pan is triggering because you destroyed our monster by card effect to reborn a non-fusion, which you generally reborn back in the field of Malulu. Bell negate, not today, mate. And I guess the original Maxi challenge is coming back to bite him in the end because he had so much resources with that negated Malulu on field. And this is why I try to encourage you, if you have a Malulu and a Lucius, you better have a good reason to summon that Lucius over the Malulu. Lucius gets negated, you're done. Malulu gets negated, you get to then win the duel on the next turn as we just did here. It was all on that negated Malulu to activate again during the next turn. Ash, in response to the Cupsy Yummy Way, which we recycled that Maxi back to our hand. Thanks to our Arthalion. Snatchy and Cookie. If you choose to fuse on resolution, the Cookie will destroy the monster. There you go, Arthalion. But do we really care that an Arthalion's getting destroyed? Not that big of a deal. Pan's gonna non-target destroy. Arthalion's recycling back the Bell and Urgula. Arthalion and Grave is reborning. Malulu's gonna non-target negate if you were to chain Synchro in response to this mate. Now, you know, this is not triggering to play the Acro. So this is the trigger, this is not a trigger. And if we did trigger to play the Acro, which I don't even know if we have in the deck still, you don't play Acro in Mitsurugi. That's why it's not triggering. If we did have a Crow, the Acro would play, then the Pan would trigger the Acro to summon a monster from the deck. Understood? Whatever we Synchro into will not activate. That's gonna be negated. Or destroyed, right? Do we have Pan on this chain order? I don't even know. I think we have Pan on here. We'll negate it, then destroy it or negate it. Either or, it's gonna be not activating and it's gonna be gone. Negated and destroyed. All right. Well, I thought the Max C challenge turn 1 worked out in your favor, but it obviously did not. Let's finish this. So, a Max C from 3 turns ago is what won this duel. Finish him. Well done. Lethal damage. This was not Dracotail beating Yummy. This was a Max C duel, all right? You don't note this down. It's not a scoreboard. It's done. It's still 0-0. So, yeah, our only bridge is Zombie Vampire. We're not playing Camellia. Now, I think I mixed it up telling you that the Herald Arclight and Gravity Controller, that's the other way. That is Yummy to Mitsurugi. Mitsurugi to Yummy is just going to be the Zombie Vampire. Or Camellia if you play it, which he does not. Let's summon the Murakumo from the hand, which this does have the benefit of not being ashable. When you summon it from the deck, they are able to ash it. And this is it. Zombie Vampire. How do we build the bridge? We have to summon a level 1. Now, the level 1 could be from the opponent. If the opponent mills a Veiler or a Droll and Lockbird, we're going to use it to make a Yummy. Now, the Gravity Controller will be used with the Zombie Vampire. We did it. We did it. I'm like, oh, did we got it? So from the opponent, no level 1s. From ourselves, not only a level 1, but a Yummy. Successfully bridging into Yummy. Out of 8 cards, only 1. So I know a lot of people like to say it always happens, but it almost did not happen. Nibiru off the field. Let's prayer, search for the Futsu. We Nibiru to stop the bridge towards Yummy. And let's wipe away that Nibiru. He didn't want to deal with the Cupsy searching and then getting into circulation. Yummy's in the graveyard. Whether you agree with that early Nibiru or not. Now, after all of that, we have an impermanence. We can't trigger the Murakumo to wipe away the field. We could force them to discard a card. We have our own Nibiru and we have an Ash for disruptions. If this was a Lucius, well, we would be done. That's it, done with Lucius, but Malulu will still be activatable during the next turn. Key 2, Ash on Key 2, I would say is okay to do if you have a body in the field to disallow the fusion summon play. And now let's follow up with the Femina. Force them to discard the Sting. Get that Sting out of here. And now we just have Nibiru. All up to Nibiru. Will we even summon 5 times? We're only on the second one. We're going to return back the single Femina as the Malulu permanently negates the on-field Murakumo. Thus, leaving this on the field, it's not going to force us to discard a card during the next turn. Add back the Femina as we have the Flame. Rahu Dracotail, send the Pan. Pan will just take out the negated Murakumo as we're now on 3 summons. We should be done from here. No more summoning. And we can successfully clean up their entire fields. Wipe them out. Now, Anubis. How can Anubis win? Anubis tops decks into a Cupsy. And then, I guess, Horn bounces it back, and then Surprise tries to summon it back, and then Flame negates the Surprise. So it's like, even the ideal draw, aren't we screwed? This is a checkmate. I think so. Well, even better than a Cupsy, we got a Fualos. Typhon is here. In attack position, because why not? We know we lose. It's not a mistake. We're done. Dracotail just 2-0'd Yummy. Now, someone earlier said, Decade, should I play Sprite Elf? If you want to beat Dracotail, Sprite Elf with the targeting protection onto the Herald is going to be a very much favorable duel for you to dominate Dracotail. It's going to clap them up big time. If a lot of your opponents are not playing Dracotail, then I could say, sure, you don't need Sprite Elf. But against Dracotail, that's how you easily crush them. All right. End the turn. Well, standard Melodious turn 1. Has 4 hand traps, though. Negate 2 monsters in the field, negate an interaction with the graveyard, negate a monster wherever it is, and destroy it with the Herald of Orange Light. We're going to Veiler, negate On field, the Saji. From searching for the Mitsurugi ritual that we already have. But it would have searched for prayers instead. Snatchy is activating to get ogred. This is essentially an ogre. Well, ogre would be worse because they would still get the field spell. Here, no field spell and destroy the Snatchy. Well done. Dead ritual. No good. Nibiru, Ash, Troll, but he has no play. What the heck is going on, mate? We're gonna link off the Saji into an Almirage, and this is now a Cupsy. And if it were not a Cupsy, we could make a Camellia to send from the deck to then add back. Do we have a Yummy in the graveyard? Yes, we do. Dodge the impermanence. Well, I'm gonna Ghost Spell. You still dodge the impermanence, but you don't get to reborn back the Marshmallow nor the Snatchy. So we do get to draw 2 discard, but how do we summon them onto the field? We special summon Marshmallow very easily. There you go. Barely an inconvenience. Well done. Refrain is our 1-card combo away. We have Maxi, but Ash Blossom negate. This is it. You better win this. You have your uninterrupted 1-card combo to do whatever you want. Now, what did we accomplish here? This states that while on the field, your monsters cannot be targeted by card effects or be destroyed by battle. And then this one says your Melodious cards cannot be destroyed by card effects. We can't get Murakumo'd, we can't, like, Super Towers can't be destroyed by anything or be targeted by anything, and non-target bounce back 3 face-up cards whenever we want. This is like an unbeatable field. Is this not better than having a Liger? Liger can be destroyed by battle. I don't know how you beat this. What's the out? Non-target banish. But people aren't playing mouse anymore. Without that non-target banish, that's pretty much the only way to out this. Or you could play the mirror match. Itoli yourself. Come forth into Cupsy Yummy way. Mars, what is your mission here? If Swag Key does nothing and just lets you fully play it out, what are you trying to accomplish? What can you even do? There's 0 outs in your extra deck. Technically, if your deck size is smaller than Swag Key's, you could just deck out, right? That'd be it. That's the end. Now, the field spell can return cards back in the deck if he chose to deck you out. That is a possible win condition if he wanted to go all in on that. Swag Key could just walk away from the computer. Does not care. Okay. Now, with Herald of Arclight on the field, Maxi is not even activatable. So that's another great benefit, because what does Yummy like to do? They love to special summon during the opponent's turn. So if you are able to make the Herald of Arclight, they then draw into a Maxi, they're not going to be able to be Maxi in your plays. All right, Burn, Corridor. Real excited on how this duel ends. Are there any bets on what turn this duel will end on? We could be going to turn 30. In Duel Links, the duel ends on turn 50. It doesn't care. It just, turn 50, the game shuts off and it ends it. I don't think there is a limit in Master Duel. Add a purification. Wow, Mars, thank you for the combo guide. That was awesome. he showed us his full combo, and then he timed out. All right, great. Let's go to game 3. We're gonna start off with the special summon Marshmallow into Yummy Snatchy. We are not activating the Snatchy. You know, I really do want to be highlighting that nuance here, because a lot of people to play around in Orange Light, play around in Ogre, play around in Impermanence. Because now, what do you imperm? You can't imperm the Synchro, and when Snatchy does activate to play the field spell, it's going to be able to chain Synchro to dodge the Impermanence. Ash negate, mate. We could choose to jump off. It's a cost to leave the field, thus we can't imperm that. But the Orange Light, similar to a Ghost Spell, will completely negate the effect of Reborn. That works out. As we're now going to have to follow up Yummy. And then we could Snatchy play the field spell. But the Imperm will thus then be used onto the Snatchy. What do we do from here? Negate. Now, there was something we could do to further give us better hand trap resilience. It would cost us Maxi. So were you willing to normal summon Maxi, turn it into an Almirage, and then make all the other plays and then play through Impermanence? But then you lose your Maxi. It was an option. If it were a full loss, we would have definitely done that. Okay. Oh boy, Maxi in the draw phase when Swag Key has no play. Bro, I'm on Melodious. What do you think I have plays regularly? No. End phase Marshmallow, add back. And I guess this is the end, huh? It was a good duel. Okay. Come forth into Cupsy, Yummy Way. Searching for a Cupsy and a Lollipo. The dead Mitsurugi ritual. Get that trash out of here. Searching for the Minion, Surprise, Reborn, super boosted up field. How big is this? 9,200. Now the field spell is one of the rare cards that actually target the card that it wants to reborn. Where is it? This one. Some Yummy Surprise doesn't target, the Synchros don't target, and we just dodge it. 15,000 damage. Oh my Jesus. And we could have done more. Lollipo in the extra monster zone, Reborn 2. Did we already Lollipo? Well done. Is Melodious inconsistent? I mean, I'm creating a bias against Melodious after today's event because I've continually see it not make plays turn one. It's got the Ostinatos, it's got Reframes. What else does it have? So we have to stop them from being able to summon even one. And the heavy polymerization will instantly go into one, which will have the flame for, so we could at least stop that. Then we need another play to go into the second attempt of going into Liger. Full loss and max freaking C. Uh-oh. Now, only we know that Melito's playing Lunalight. Kindia has no idea. So how does he have the information to try to brute force this? Naturally, it's a Dracotail deck, so they already do well against Maxi and Full Loss, where they could set up to 2 good traps, then pass. But will this be enough? We know that the flame can stop the heavy polymerization. The problem is Melito knows that there's a flame. So we could just wait with the heavy poly. We could bait out other spells potentially. And it looks like we're doing that. And it works. Kindia's thinking, I better flame something. I'm gonna flame the first card. And now we can't stop the heavy poly going into our Liger. We're still gonna hold on to it. We're gonna try to eat up some other hand traps here. The Silver Hound can now negate the Horn if we have a fusion in the grave, which we do not yet. The Chick would get a fusion in grave to make the Silver Hound activatable. And now we are gonna heavy polymerize into the Lunalight Liger Dancer. Just one is possibly checkmate. That's it, just one. Ryzeal could deal with 2 Liger Dancers. Maliss could deal with 2 Liger Dancers. Dracotail and Yummy can't even deal with 1. Not even 1. Oh my Jesus. And Ryzeal doesn't have to go out of their way to build their deck to deal with it. They naturally, easily deal with 2. Maliss naturally, easily deals with 2. And you do have to, in a way, go out of your way to ensure that your Yummy or Dracotail could deal with just 1. Would Prelia happen to be anti-Yummy? Is that why you're playing it? With all the Yummies they're special summoning, their initial Yummy they normal. The 2 Yummies they special summon off of searching with the Cupsy, that's at least you draw 3. Let's speed this up. Will the Horn and Flame be enough to stop a single Liger? All Melito has to do is summon 1. Come forth, Gulamel. if Dracotail and Yummy both do not do well against Lunalight, then I would encourage you all, if you enjoy Lunalight, now's the time. This is when you'd want to play the deck. There you go. We have Banish from the Grave, return a monster back, negate a spell, pop a card, fusion summon, pop with the pan. We got about 5 to 6 disruptions. But all we have to do is summon one Liger. Martin's going to trigger, grabbing the Lunalight fusion. That's a problem. Faye, Mina, Chain in response to the Martin, returning back the Lunalight bird. Fusing up with the hand into Mysterion. This will be able to banish not only the Martin, but also the Gold Leo, right? They're all the same type, right? What are they? They're all Beast Warrior. Pan could destroy a card in the field, which we don't have to because we're going to banish them instead. Set. Banish. All bodies in the field follow up with a Tenki. Now, the Lunalight Fusion states that if the opponent controls a monster summoned from the extra deck, we could use a monster from our extra deck or deck as material. First, we're going to use the Polymerization, summoning into defense to play around the Horn. The Mysterion's already been used up. We still have Gulamel to pop a card. We're going to Sting. And the cards that we randomly draw into could also hopefully be helpful. Gulamel, in response to the Sting, take out the Perfume Dancer as we banish away the Chick. Now, Chick being banished will trigger. If this card is banished, you now can state that the opponent cannot activate cards during the battle phase. Ghost Bell. Negate the Perfume effect to attempt to reborn the Black Sheep, but the Perfume Engraved could still activate to search, and a second copy of the Perfume is still activatable. No part of it is hard once per turn. Discard Perfume, searching for a sheep, and now we're going to Lunalight Fusion. Flame Negate. Silver Hound. There's a fusion in the grave. How'd it get there? You Gulamel popped it. I don't think I have any other fusion in the grave. You enabled the Silver Hound negate. As we now fuse it all up into one Liger Dancer, and as I said earlier, we have no out to a single Liger. That's it. One Liger wins it. Kandia's like, come on, Maliss and Ryzeal players, you're supposed to knock him out of the tournament. I shouldn't even be playing against him. How'd he make it through all of you? I'm trying to draw a card here by returning my own monster back, and he says no. You don't even get to draw. Raigeki the field, lose the Horn, lose your bodies, Pan will trigger to reborn back the Lucius to search for something. Sure, a dead Femina at the moment. Lethal. 38, 38, 38, 38. Quadra 38. Lethal damage. 2-0. Well, YouTube, thank you for watching the top 16. We'll be advancing to the top 8 grand finale and top deck list, where we will find out if Lunalight is the answer to the format. It beats Yummy, or theoretically it does. It beats Dracotail. We just saw it 2-0, and I'll see you there. Let's go.